Hello, Disney Infinity Trainers. Welcome back to another episode of iStarlyTV. I'm Scarecrow, and I have just come back from E3. For those of you who don't know what E3 is, E3 stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo, and it is basically a giant video gaming conference that takes place every summer. And it's for all of the top name video game developers, video game companies, and even some of the lesser known ones. But it's basically a place for a video game lover to just explore and discover new games that are coming out, learn about new games that are coming out from your favorite companies, and just connect with other video game fans and fans of the video game industry. But I guess it's not just about video games. It stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo. So that also includes, anyone who, I don't know, delves in the art of electronic entertainment. And so there are a lot of famous internet celebrities that attend, famous YouTubers or well-known YouTubers. And of course, a good amount of video game people. And so this event is very hard to come by unless you work in some kind of, electronic entertainment industry or network. I was very fortunate to have received an invitation to attend from Disney Infinity themselves. And it was a kind of a little random drawing that they did on their Facebook page. They had you enter, just enter some information about yourself, and then they selected, a handful of people. I believe it was a pretty good number of people, but it was enough people to go and try out their new game as fans rather than as people who work for Disney or people who work for this gaming network or that. And so we are just, we're called the influencers, IN influencers, and it was just an excellent experience. I was very, like I said, very lucky to attend, and I had so much fun, and I learned so many new things. I found out about so many new different types of games, and really that feeling you get when you walk in and you just see the giant convention hall and you see all of the lights and all of your favorite companies and games, and it's just like that feeling of, I guess you could say, a kid in a candy store or a kid in a toy store kind of feeling where you're just in complete awe and I guess to some degree disbelief, because I never thought I'd be going to one of these types of big events, and it's an event that is, very exclusive. It's not open to the general public. So those of us who went to this event are lucky in some way. So as you can see here, my lovely background, I have my winnings or my prizes from attending E3, and these are some new Disney Infinity 3.0 figures. So I'll show those off. Here's Yoda. Here is Luke and Leia in the Rise of the Empire playset. And here's Darth Vader. You gotta have Darth Vader. And next to Darth Vader is his apprentice in the dark arts. Sadness. Just kidding. But isn't she cute? I believe Inside Out is coming out today, so I'll be happy to go and see that one. So basically, these are characters that are only compatible with Disney Infinity 3.0. And wouldn't you know it, Disney Infinity 3.0 is actually not even released to the public yet. So having these is a rarity. And there's a little kind of, I guess you could say, story about these. At the Disney Infinity booth, when they were giving these figures away, you had to wait in line, and you would wait in line, and then when it was your turn to go up, you would kind of stand in front of this. It's not a green screen, but it's essentially similar to a green screen where they would put you up on a big screen and they would put a background up behind you, and then they would put like a character next to you, a Disney Infinity character, all in a virtual sense. So it was called augmented reality. So in person, you were just standing up there on the stage by yourself, but when you looked on the screen, it appeared as though you were standing next to Baymax or Mike Wazowski or Darth Vader, and you would just kind of swing a lightsaber or dance around or whatever, interact with the character for, I believe, 90 seconds. And then after that, you would get your ticket and you would be able to pick up one of these Disney Infinity 3.0 characters of your choice. And so the fact that you were able to get one of these figures, which at this point are extremely rare because they're not released to the public yet, and the fact that you had to stand up there for 90 seconds at least, that each person would have to stand up there for at least 90 seconds, meant that there was a very, very long line for these figures. And in addition to that, it also meant that the line moved very, very slowly throughout the day. So I ended up waiting in line for 5 hours on the first day. And the event went from 12 to 6 on day 1. So I almost waited for the entire day. You know, when I first got in line, the girl who was working the line, she said it'll probably take about 2 hours. So I was like, okay, I mean, that's not good, but you know, I guess I'll do it since I'm already here. By the time it got to the 2-hour points, we had barely moved. And I was thinking, well, at this point, I've wasted 2 hours of my day. If I leave the line, it will have all been for nothing. So I might as well stay, you know, and then you find yourself 5 hours later, not even really, you know, knowing what you're doing anymore. But I ended up sticking it out, and I got my Luke and Leia and then my Yoda. And then the next day, the line wasn't as bad, so I was able to go twice and get Darth Vader and Sadness. But anyways, the funny thing too is a lot of people were standing in line to sell these on eBay because, again, since they're not out in the public yet, again, they are very rare. They are collectibles, I guess you could say, and so many people were running to the line just so they could sell these, just so they could get one and then sell it on eBay. You know, Yoda, Darth Vader, these characters, these single characters were going for, you know, over $100 online for a single character. And then the Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker playset, those were exclusive to those of us who won the contest through Disney Infinity. So only a handful of people had these, and these were going online for on eBay for, I think, about $300 I saw, and that is just insane. I mean, I can't imagine anyone would want to buy these for a super inflated price right now, when in a few months they're going to be out at Walmart and Target and GameStop, you know. So that was just ridiculous. I went in line, you know, like I went in line 3 times over the course of 2 days, and my intention was to get these figures and to have the kind of bragging rights of having them before anyone else, because I want to keep them and I want to play with them when Disney Infinity 3.0 comes out, you know. And it saves me the trouble of having to buy Yoda or buy Darth Vader or buy Sadness, you know. So now I'm very excited for 3.0. I'm definitely keeping these, and maybe I'll take them out of their boxes soon, but for right now they look kind of nice in the plastic, I guess. But I would also like to say to Disney Infinity, if you happen to be listening, thank you very much for this opportunity. I know I was not the only one chosen, and I know I'm not, you know, super special because there were probably many others who were chosen along with me, but just having this opportunity for any of your fans is just really wonderful, and it was just a great experience. I couldn't have asked for anything better for my summer, and I really can't believe how lucky I was to get accepted to this and to collect these figures, because Disney Infinity 3.0 is just really one of my favorite games right now. Or maybe not 3.0 in general, but just Disney Infinity in general is really one of my favorite games right now, and I've always loved Disney as a kid, and so you know, just getting that kind of opportunity is just really, I can't even put it into words. It was awesome to be there and to experience it like never before. So thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. All right, well, I'm gonna cut this part off. I am going to add a few kind of short clips to the end of this video, where I'm gonna be showing off gameplay from Disney Infinity 3.0 that I saw during E3, and maybe talking about, you know, what this gameplay entails and stuff for 3.0. So I'm very excited for it. And I will be doing a lot of playthroughs, a lot of YouTube videos of Disney Infinity 3.0 when it comes out, when I get it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.
Can you imagine if they had a E3 game where you just played
oh, yeah.
the entire time?
Alright, cool. Well, thank you.
walking over here.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks.
So cool.
Want to take any characters out and get a closer look?
Sure. Let's see. Maybe Darth Maul and this Zeb.
Yeah.
I think.
We go to any of those exclamation points right there, that'll give us some work to do. The final version of the game, you'll be able to fly as Boba Fett.
Oh, nice.
Because obviously he's got a jetpack, so you're gonna rock that.
If I put this on there, will it work right now? No?
That's for the toy box,
Okay, for the toy box.
and this is a playset mode.
Alright.
If we put either of these two on, playing as Luke or Leia, those will change our costumes, give us some slightly different weapons, stuff like that. I'm a big fan of Leia's Boba Fett costume because she just looks, or not Boba Fett, Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Excuse me. From Return of the Jedi. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
She got a charge up blaster.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I want to put these guys back, but that's cool.
Sure. Thanks.
Come on.
That's great. Thank you.
Come on. How we going?
Try to get your friends that you can play like series. So this is the first thing. Stop looking in there now.
How are the controls?
Very good.
Yeah, nice.
Very smooth. Much different.
Nice. Yeah. Have you played the other?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was hard to control the cars on the other game.
Have you tried this one yet?
No, I haven't.
Much different.
Nice. All right, that's cool.
I mean, the other games are a bit hard, but you can kind of get used to it. This one, you already know how to play it. It's like drive it.
That's cool.
Very Mario Kart.
Huh?
First one here is a tutorial for just like what sidekicks are, how they assist you, what advances where our farms are. Each one of those is kind of a toy box level that you can look like this. We're going to teach you how takes a while to let everything out.
Inside Out playset is part of Disney Infinity 3.0. Get the starter pack.
You don't mind sort of kind of limit the length of